Hey guys, it's Greg here from Kinobody. And in this video, we're going to be talking about working out to get really chiseled. Lean, chiseled, defined, ripped, whatever you want to call it. But you see, most people who want to get really lean, their training is not ideal. You see, what do most people do? They see some actor or fitness model they really like, and they go on the internet and they follow their routine. Usually they're doing 5, 6 workouts per week. They're going super high volume, so they're hitting like 20, 30 sets per workout. Meanwhile, they're following some strict diet. This is not a recipe for success. This causes a lot of problems. And I work with a lot of clients who are in this boat, where they're eating 1,600 calories a day, and they're following some insanely high volume routine. I know if I followed that, I would die. Because here's the thing. As a natural lifter, who's not on steroids, because that's most of us, hopefully, your body's really only good at doing one thing at a time. Now, if you throw yourself into a calorie deficit for fat loss, you're not eating that much food, your body is okay doing one thing at a time and absolutely horrendous at doing multiple things at a time. So let's say, for example, you're eating low calories and you're hammering a high volume routine where you're doing 4 exercises per muscle group, 4 sets each, and just destroying it. What happens? Well, here's the thing. Before your body can actually rebuild any muscle tissue and put itself into growth mode, it first has to replenish all the depleted glycogen. So when you're doing a lot of sets per workout, your body's depleting all this glycogen, and you have to replenish that glycogen before your body can kick into muscle building gear. And remember, we're natural lifters, so by the time your body's recovered, replenished the glycogen, very little muscle growth is actually going to actualize. So the routines I use with my clients are always very, very low volume. People will look at it on a piece of paper and they'll say, there's no way in heck I could make results with such few amount of workouts, exercises, and sets. There's no way. But here's the thing. When you strip out all the nonsense, you focus on the core lifts that really matter, and you get strong at them, your physique is going to become incredible. Absolutely incredible. Whereas if you just float around with 15 exercises per workout, you're not going to make any gains. Your body's going to be in a depleted state during this workout. You're going to be exhausted, and you won't be able to be that strong. I know that because if I were to do these high volume routines, I'd have no strength. So now the next thing we really need to talk about is, what does it mean to get more defined? What does it mean to get more ripped? Well, it's very simple actually. Getting ripped is a matter of definition. And the way you improve definition is not through training. So no amount of CrossFit or P90X is going to get you ripped. What gets you ripped is solid dieting. You need to eat at a calorie deficit. You need to create that fat burning, because only when you're in a calorie deficit is your body forced to burn fat. And we'll get more into this in a nutrition video. But the main thing is you can't work out to get ripped. You can work out to build muscle, and you can work out to burn calories. There's no such thing as trying to make your muscles more defined through training. It doesn't happen. You make them bigger or you make them smaller. You make the fat around the muscles bigger or you make it smaller. And so the most efficient way to get lean is through diet. The most efficient way to build muscle, of course, you gotta train properly. Now you can go and do cardio, you'll burn a few calories, but you gotta be really careful with cardio because A, if you're just focusing on cardio and not tracking your macronutrient intake and calorie intake, it's likely that you'll just replace those calories burned through more food consumption. This is a common thing, especially when you get leaner. And B, you won't burn that many calories unless you're doing 8 hours of cardio per week. It's not going to help you, create that pound or pound and a half of fat loss. You got to be doing a lot of cardio. So really, the training should be very simplistic. I really like to use 3 workouts a week, 4 or 5 exercises, 2-3 sets. I'm training hard. I'm going to maintain weight on the bar. So if you're dieting, you're trying to get lean, you have to maintain that weight on the bar. Dropping the weight and going higher reps is just going to expedite the speed at which you lose muscle. So if you're benching 200 and you decide to go on a diet, and so now you're dropping the weight to 170, well, you just there's a big chunk right there, which is of strength that you might potentially lose. So you have to maintain the weight on the bar. And so a lot of times I'll actually get stronger while cutting with proper minimalistic training and proper nutrition. So this is really how you go about training to get ripped. Low volume strength training with a diet in place to allow for fat loss. Think of a calorie deficit or any diet as a recovery deficit. The less food you're eating, the worse your recovery is going to be. So you really need to hone in on those main core movements, cut back on the sets, cut back on the workouts, and just do the minimalistic amount, and you'll maintain the most amount of strength that way. You might actually, put on some solid strength and size. That's all I really want to talk about. So if you're following some Greg Flitz split where you're hammering out 20, 30 sets per workout, 5-6 workouts per week, and provided that you're not taking anabolic steroids, you're just going to be messing yourself over. You're going to be depleting your body, but you're not going to be able to build any muscle whatsoever. And if anything, it's going to make it harder that from when you do bulk to build muscle, because you just desensitized yourself to that amount of training. So it might take you more volume to promote that growth. So I would steer clear of any high volume routines. P90X, CrossFit, intervals, they're good for conditioning if you want to improve your cardiovascular conditioning and anaerobic endurance, but they won't do shit to get you lean. It's all about the nutrition, and it's all about training to maintain your muscle size.